Warning, I'm on a journey to handicap home runs in Major League Baseball, and by golly, I'm still trying to figure out the best approach. I'm not claiming to be sharp, I'm not claiming to have an edge. I bet based on the three Ps, pitcher, park, and price. We probably won't win long term. This is for entertainment and education, but if you like the video, like the video. There's no added vig for clicking that thumb. Welcome back to the Green Means Go channel. Before we start today, I just have to talk about this. Got to get it off my chest. Sometimes you have to laugh so you do not cry. I had a 30% profit boost yesterday on FanDuel, and of course, I ran a lotto. I ran a long shot home run play. I went with Colt Keith in the second game of this doubleheader. I liked the matchup. And again, I hate doubleheaders for the sake of this series because it's hard to put out plays for the second one. I liked his matchup, and I took him. He hit a home run. I saw that Rhys Hines was starting, and Rhys Hines is one of my favorite guys to pick to hit a home run. He's a guy that goes out there and swings for the fences no matter what. He was priced at plus 700. You see 827 here. That's with the boost. He's priced at plus 700, and I thought, you know what? Let's do it. Let's throw him in. And then, he hit a home run. And then it came down to James Outman. For the last leg, these two guys hit. The LA game was starting. And I said, wow, $6,800. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be just magnificent? Now, James Outman was an official play yesterday. I felt good about him. He just got recalled from the minors, and he's been swinging the bat. First at bat. I'm watching it. He puts a barrel on it. I mean, the sound said $6,800. The sound said, cha-ching. I heard it off the bat. I was laying in bed next to my wife watching it on the iPad, and I go, no way, no way, no way, as the ball is flying through the air. And wouldn't you know, it flew 408 feet at 105 miles per hour at a launch angle, a perfect launch angle of 27 degrees, a home run in 21 of the 30 MLB stadiums. The ball was barreled. It had an expected batting average of .93, and it was caught. It was hit to the deepest part of Chase Field, and then he came up for the second at bat, watched three pitches, didn't swing at a single one, and then got pinch hit for. So we did not win $6,800. And yesterday I had a heart-to-heart with myself. Not about this. This would have been just icing on the heart-to-heart cake. We'll talk about my heart-to-heart in just 1 second. Yesterday, as crazy as it is, as sad as that story is, we had a positive day, which for what happened yesterday in the MLB, I have to be thankful. Only 5 home runs hit off starting pitchers yesterday. Only, I think, 12 to 15 home runs total on the day yesterday. 2 games played in Colorado. Over 20 runs scored combined and 1 home run. Maybe 2. Colt Keith. It's an uphill battle. And I was walking the golf course yesterday, and I was thinking about this process, this journey, and not wanting to give up because the content is thriving. For me, for Green Means Go, I think this is really good for the brand to do this series. I think you guys are enjoying it. You guys are supportive every day. But I sat there and I said, I cannot keep losing these number of units every day. How do I sustain this? And somebody commented yesterday and said, are you actually betting these? And I've said it before. I don't think it's right for people to endorse plays that they aren't betting. I could get on here and I could say, hey, I like all these dudes, but not enough to put my money on it. I'm putting my money on all of these, right? I am down officially 8.6 units, period, right? That's just how it is, okay? That's part of transparency, is betting these along with you. So what did I decide? And we're going to talk about data in another video today. I'm releasing another video today. You guys loved my Ballpark Pal data analysis video that I did about a month ago. I want to do another one of those, but I also want to couple in my data now that we have a lot more samples from how I'm performing. So we're going to look at, the plays I have per day, how my ROI is there an optimal plays per day? And so I got to thinking, why do I make so many plays? Well, part of it is I get upset, and I talked about this the other day, I get upset when a guy hits a home run that I looked at but didn't play. There's something about losing, but there's something about knowing you could have won, but you just didn't bet him. And I also think we got off to a cursed start by hitting so many so early. And it caused me to keep playing a lot in places where I should not have been playing a lot. So the bottom line is yesterday was not a good day for home runs. We picked about 20 guys, a little less, and we came out positive. And while we're not going to probably chip away at this 8-unit deficit by picking a small slate, I think for morale, I think I have to scale it back. And you guys have been telling me that. You guys have been telling me that for weeks. I can't lose 2 units a day. I can't lose 3 units a day. So I think the key is scaling it back and then playing some more round robins. So instead of extending with, 4 or 5 units a day, I'm going to extend with 2 units a day, roughly. And then, some of those units are going to be on round robins. And that hopefully, if we can keep afloat, break even, barely lose for a while, but we get lucky one time and hit these round robins, we're in a really, really good spot. And I think partly that may be the approach, maybe the angle. Novig, if you want to sign up and help put some money back in my pocket from this horrible start to the year, you can do so. We're up to 7. So at 25 signups, we will give away $100 on the channel. Use code GMGO, deposit $50, get 25 free, and play over at Novig. So here's the slate today. It's disgusting. And the other thing that we have to keep in mind is, this takes time. Like going through pitcher park and price for all 15 games, typically 2 teams, that's 30 rounds, right? These take 10 minutes. Like it takes a while, 10 to 12 minutes a game. That adds up. So also cutting back and being more selective is going to save me time, which is going to make myself happy. It's going to make my wife happy. It's going to make my daughter happy. So, it's a balancing act. So I'm playing the game in Colorado today, even though yesterday was a mega disappointment. I'm playing the game in Sacramento. New York comes to town, so those prices are going to be thin. Playing the game in Arizona, playing the game in Tampa Bay, and playing the game in LA. I'm skipping everything else. In fact, I'm skipping it so hard, I didn't even look. And if 5 guys hit a home run in the Chicago game, so be it. Fine. If I would have had them, fine. But I think ultimately I have proven to myself that overextending is a curse, not a blessing. So here are the plays for today. Jackson Merrill. I also think, and this is the last thing I'll say before we get into picks. Sorry, you guys have been patient for 7 minutes. I'm a yapper, certified yapper. Put the badge on him. I think it's hard to tail 40 plays a day. So, I think this is also going to do you guys a service. And as summer warms up, it'll be more interesting. When this is all green, or most of it's green, we'll have to talk then. Jackson Merrill, Gavin Sheets, both for San Diego. For Colorado, only Michael Toglia. Only play there. Of course, I looked at some other guys. Only play that I saw value in. For Oakland, against the Yankees, against Will Warren, Lawrence Butler, Tyler Soderstrom, and J.J. Bleday. For the Yankees, again, a lot of these prices, Ben Rice, Austin Wells, of course, Aaron Judge, very, very, very slim when numbers are concerned. So I think there's value still for Cabrera at $850. He hit one for us in Tampa Bay. We cashed on a Cabrera bet in Tampa Bay. That's very similar field, minor league field here that he gets to visit again. So let's run it back, so to speak, the other side of the country. And then Cody Bellinger, $475. For Tampa Bay, we're going right back to the well. We're going right back to who cashed for us yesterday. Diaz and Caminero both hit ones yesterday, and their matchup against Oswaldo Bido is very, very positive. So we'll run them back. For Milwaukee, where's this game in Milwaukee? LA? No, that's the Baltimore game. Where's this game? Tampa Bay. Okay, yeah, other side of the ball. Duh. Okay, other side of the ball. Milwaukee comes to town. Bryce Turang, I'm putting 1.5 units on it. I think there's a lot of value at 11-1. Oh, quit playing Bryce Turang. Where's Stephen Kwan? I'm surprised he's not on here. What about Nolan Shawna? Well, we'll get to him. He's on here. But I think, again, small stadium, great conditions, facing a righty in Zach Littell, who has been very hard hit this season. Let's do it. Let's get an 11-1. Bryce Turang for 0.15 units. Isaac Collins at 8-1 and Christian Yelich at 450. And then for the game in Arizona, which was so disappointing to us last night, Mookie Betts, Will Smith, and Kiki Hernandez, otherwise known as Enrique Hernandez. If you're looking for that, it is that. But you can't get confused because Teoscar's out for an extended period of time. So no other Hernandez in this game. Then for Arizona, all I'm sticking with is Josh Naylor. Of course, I looked at Pavin Smith. Of course, I looked at Perdomo. Of course, I looked at Marte. Of course, I looked at Corbin Carroll. But they're facing Saki, who they have not seen yet this year. And Sasaki, who they've not seen yet this year. And, these Arizona bats are not sharpened up outside of, I guess Marte hit one last night. But so, again, I'm trying to be conservative. I'm trying to be safe here. And then Baltimore and LA is crazy. Kyle Hendricks is pitching for LA. I like to target Hendricks typically, but the Baltimore prices are out of this world absurd. I mean, they're getting the Yankees tax, as we call it. I mean, Cedric Mullins is like plus 330. Adley Rutschman, who we usually get at 6, 7, 800, is plus 420. So again, yes, books account for park. Yes, books account for pitcher. Right? I'm not doing anything novel here. I get it, guys. Books account for these things, but sometimes I think they over account. So I'm staying off. No value there. But for LA, I like Nolan Shonowell at 9-1. Those are the only straight plays we're doing today. We hit 2 or 3. I think we profit, given that I've taken a lot of these guys at good numbers. For the round robin, it's going to be a total of 0.2 units. I'm going with Gavin Sheets, Yandy Diaz, Will Smith, and Lawrence Butler. Those are guys who could all hit today. Why not us? And why not today? Let's run it up. As the kids say, if all 4 hit, I do believe we will erase our deficit. We will be, I believe if all 4 of those guys hit, we will be in the positives. And what's that mean? We're shaving the mohawk, we're going mustache. Mohawk and mustache, Eminem, perhaps. So here's a little sneak preview. I know you can't see it, guys. That's the point. But you see that there is data present. I'm going to end this video. I'm going to upload this video. And then I'm going to spend about a half hour, 45 minutes making sure all my data is accurate, composed. And then we're going to walk through my data from this year, all things about my picks, and we're going to look at some Ballpark Pal data. Once we do that, by golly, maybe we can get in the comments together and you guys can offer some advice from what you are seeing. But right now, I do think slimming it down is the best thing. Maybe not even fiscally, but mentally. And again, like I've said, I do want to win, but I also have to understand that a lot of the audience watching this is a recreational bettor. And I think an important thing for recreational bettors is not to overbet and to do things that are fun. Don't let betting upset your mood. If you are upset at the end of every night and at the beginning of each morning, you're betting too much. And I had to look myself in the mirror yesterday and say, you're being a hypocrite, right? You see an 8-unit deficit, and part of you wants to kind of chase. You want to overbet because you want to get that back. You want to prove you're good at this. You want to prove you're sharp. But at the end of the day, I have to look in the mirror and have to say, what is the purpose of Green Means Go? Green Means Go is set out to show recreational bettors that they can bet smarter. And it's to show, those type of bettors how they can improve. And one part of improving is to scale back, is to bet responsibly, is to not bet emotionally, is not to chase, and is to do this for fun. And if I'm being a hypocrite, what's the point, right? So we're scaling back. If I lose all these plays, I live with that. But if I lose triple the amount of plays, which we had been doing, I can't live with that, right? It affects my mood. It affects my day. So it's a journey. There's nothing else that we can call this except a journey, and I'm glad you're on it with me. So pay attention. Within the next hour, I would say by noon Eastern time, you get 2 videos today. We'll see you over there.